When buying your in-game content in Smite, make sure you're using our Nexus store, guys, using the link down in the description below. You can buy your Smite gems here, you can buy battle passes, you can buy Path of Exile content, as well as some video games like the upcoming Elden Ring, Inscription, and The Last Epoch. Remember, of course, though, this is for PC only. Hello, everybody, and welcome to your Awilix Season 9 guide. We're going to be grabbing ourselves an Eye of the Jungle, making our way into the Jotun's Wrath because of course we are, as well as our 2 health potions and our Hand of the Gods. And then at level 1, we are going to be going ahead and grabbing that Feather Step, making sure we knock out our 2 auto attacks before we use it, so we get that 2 times damage on the camp. Just like you can help us 2 times as much by making sure you hit that like button and to comment down below on the YouTube video to help out with the algorithm. And of course, make sure you are subscribed and ring that bell for notifications so you never miss any of the content. Feather Step is also going to be the ability that we are leveling up first. Feather Step is going to be our main ability on Awilix, and it's kind of the one that we're going to be focusing on here today. Not only is it a great offensive ability, it is also a great defensive ability, because while you are in the actual Feather Step itself, it is a giant immunity frame. So if you have a Poseidon Kraken about to hit you and you Feather Step, absolutely nothing will happen to you.
Minions have spawned.
Very, very strong ability. In fact, one of the more probably strong individual abilities in the entire game of Smite. Also works from a decent amount of range away. Awilix has that extra long spear auto attack length, and her Feather Step lets her use it from a long way away as well. Kind of awkward because the red buff just got knocked back by the Poseidon one, but that's all right. Got to get ourselves to the mid lane ASAP. Going to use the Feather Step to avoid the Nemesis 2 as well as the Janus ability as well. Trying to keep my pressure there onto the Nemesis, and you can see how much damage we already avoided with that Feather Step right off the bat. And that's how you can use it defensively as well. At level 2, we are going to grab our 3. This is going to be our range damaging ability. Also going to give us knockups from the back and from the side. And because people have varying pings in Smite as well, it means that if somebody has much higher ping than you, sometimes you can throw out your 3
Completed.
and you can smash them right in their forehead from the front, and it'll still give you the knockup anyway. You get to go, woo! Thank you, Smite.
Enemy missing.
Awilix, more of an early game focused jungler. She does transition well into the late game. This is not a Thanatos situation where you have to snowball in the early game, otherwise you are useless. But she is focused more on the early game. Very strong. Pre-level 5 and right at level 5 damage potential. I'm just gonna kind of sit over here right now. Looks like Cupid is gonna start making his way up, so I'm gonna go for a little blink knockup. The knockup isn't quite gonna hit, but I am gonna be able to use the Feather Step to get back there towards him. You can see just how much range that Feather Step has on it, bringing me all the way back to him. And of course, smashing him with that giant AoE. Now I'm actually gonna back here because I'm low on mana and I want to go do all my farm on the right-hand side while we continue to work over onto our Jotun's Wrath. And now I'm gonna be hopping onto my Suku. Quick tip with Suku: you do not have to jump off of Suku every time you use it. If you right-click, you can get right back on it. It does not take the cooldown. The only thing you have to worry about is that it does take that 30 mana when you hop on it. So it will be taking 30 mana over and over and over again, but you can use that bonus movement speed that you get for riding Suku to just get around to places and then save the leap for when you really actually need it, which is quite nice. Gonna jump myself right on here onto the Janus. Gonna hit him with a little Feather Step. we do force him to go ahead and use his ultimate to get out. So for our level order on Awilix, it is going to be 4 whenever we can. When we level up our ultimate, it does more damage. We get a bigger buff. All sorts of good stuff. Really, really good ultimate. Speaking of it, I'm going to go use it right there on the Ares just to yoink him back over a little bit closer to me, and then I'm going to take my nice little jungle wave tax here. Then we're going to level up our 2, then our 3, and finally our 1. Always going to be that same level order on Awilix. That is 4, 2, 3, 1. Because all you're really looking for her is more damage, and damage with her abilities. Now, keep in mind, her ultimate does more than just damage. It also gives you a bonus attack speed and a physical power buff, which means that it's also good in PvE. You're trying to take down a tower, a gold fairy, a fire giant, whatever. You can also just use it for that buff, and it also gives her some CC immunities. You've got root, slows, and knockback immune for 6 seconds. So you can also use it for that CC immunity as well. Although traditionally, you're going to be using it off of the knockup in order to yoink somebody out of position and towards you. Because we're looking for those knockups in order to bring people towards us, that means we are looking for god pairings that can help us out. If we're left to our own devices, we have our 3, and that's our big ability for setting ourselves up. But if we get other gods with knockups, then we don't have to be so self-reliant on it. We've got Atlas this game who can grab people for us, and then we can ult them out of the air. We've got a Gilgamesh kick. We've got Cherry 3, Poseidon. Oh, so many options on this team to work with. Absolutely a wonderful team for an Awilix to be working with. Not to mention, just a generically good kind of team comp overall. Gonna be blinking in here towards the Ares. Use a quick feather step to pull him. Grab a quick kill. Gonna wait for this Yanis to try to go through a portal or something. See if I can't get a little knockup on him. Not gonna be able to get that. And I'm gonna continue to go pretty aggressively. Your 3 on Your 3 on Awilix does go through walls. And you can use it for the knockup over the wall as well. You just have to pay attention to the damage numbers that will be coming out to see if they actually got knockup over that wall. Keep in mind that Awilix has to be pulling somebody off of a knockback / knock up. Knockback / knock up is what you are looking for. This Janice is what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to use my feather step right there for the kill. Why can't I use my feather step? Because of the thing that you don't want to be going against on Awilix, and that is cripples. Cripples are really the one thing on Awilix that are going to mess you up, because not only can you not jump on Suku, you also can't use your feather step. Your feather step is considered a movement ability for the sake of cripples, which means that your main damaging ability is not usable. So watch out for the Ares chains, the RDO cripples, etc. of the world. They will have a rough day for you in store. So you've got to make sure you try to avoid those the best that you can. Otherwise, there's really nothing that individually problematic. Yes, it's nice on Awilix to go against gods with leaps. Sure, it's nice to go against the Scylla because you can pull her out of her dash. Yeah, it's nice to go against the Woojer because you can yoink him right on out of the air, right? But that is not a mandatory aspect of the Awilix. You don't need to be going against a bunch of gods with leaps. She is good outright by herself, just from the pure damage that she brings out, just from the fact that she can knock up anybody by herself, even if you have a couple of good god pairings with her. then it's really not hard to get efficient uses of your ultimate off. Gonna be selling my health potion as I back to base because I'm gonna be getting myself the Hydra's Lament. This Jotun's Wrath Hydra's Lament, very standard start right now for a lot of ability-based junglers. A ton of CDR, plus of course Hydra's Lament gives penetration now. Jotun's gives penetration, so I've got flat pen, I've got percent pen, I've got a bunch of power. And now I've got extra thick auto attacks coming out, which Awilix can utilize very efficiently. For Awilix, that standard combo, in order to utilize that Hydra's efficiently, is you're going to be almost always starting off with your 3, whether you're using it from long range or whether you are blinking in order to use it. Doesn't really matter. After your 3, you want to get in an auto attack, then you ulti, auto attack, feather step, auto attack. That's going to be the perfect little setup for you on Awilix. Kind of waiting for the area to see if he is going to turn around. He's not going to. I do know that there is a Janus over toward the left-hand side. He has juked back towards the mid lane. Maybe he will try to run off to the side. Doesn't look like he's going to. If he continues to run away, I can go for the blink, swift turnaround from Janus right there to make sure that I cannot ult him, but I will just go back and do his red buff and continue to run throughout their jungle. Reminder that not only does your 3 go through the wall, but your ultimate also goes through walls. The only thing that you need to pay attention to on Awilix is that your target is in range and that you are physically looking at them when you use the ultimate. And now that might seem silly to say, but your ultimate does have like basically a cone indicator. You have to be looking at the target. If you have somebody right behind you that is knock-upped and you ulti and you're not looking at them, it won't help you at all. It won't actually hit them. You do need to be in range of the target and you have to be looking at them. It is a frontal pull. As you would hope on Awilix, the early game is going pretty well. One of the stronger 1v1 gods in the game. Later on, as the game progresses, our main style of gameplay is going to be looking for a quick pick before a team fight. And in the actual team fight themselves, we're going to be doing a lot of outskirting, which is basically just sticking around the outskirts of the fight, looking for quick pulls when our ability comes up, looking for some yoinks like right here. We're going to be able to smack that chalk. I don't even go ahead and need to use my feather step. I can jump in on them, grab myself a double feather step, and then once this Ares gets pulled, bada bang, bada boom, we're going to grab ourselves a nice little triple kill, and now we can also go over and shove right lane. So we are not going to be initiating fights on Awilix. That is not really our job. We're not a Thor. We're not a Ratatasker who's going to be YOLO ulting in and being like, all right, the fight begins. We need frontline to be starting these battles. So our Gilga, our Atlas can both go up and be starting these fights. We, on the other hand, will be chilling, looking for those quick picks and trying to burn down the squishies. Our main targets this game are going to be Janus and Cupid because they are currently the highest levels. They are going to be the most problematic for the boys. And so that is who we will be trying to get off the map in the team fights ASAP. And hop off Suku and get right back on as I continue to walk over towards red buff, which is where I assumed that they went.
Be careful.
Gonna call for a be careful there because I am actually kind of low on mana. And they had 3 people there, so I don't want to mess around with that fight too hard. Gonna be continuing onward into our percent penetration. We've got Serrated Edge as a great item here, but we've also got Berserker Shield, which I think is an underutilized item on a lot of junglers. I only need 20 more gold, so I'm actually just gonna go ahead and sit here and wait for it. 40 physical power, plus you get the protections physical, which is gonna scale super well with our protector of the jungle in the late game, which also gives you those physical protections. Plus you get the bonus percent protections when you're actually inside of the jungle. Then we're gonna get attack speed, which is surprisingly not built that much on Awilix. I'm not saying you should be going full attack speed Awilix build, but a little bit of attack speed can go a long way for just helping you get off that quick 2 autos at the very start of your chain, so then you can get the big AoE feather step, because you got to get the 1, 2, and then you get your big circle, a big damage feather step. So you want to make sure you can get those first 2 autos going very quickly. Not to mention, once you combine it with her ultimate, which gives you a ton as well, she does so much damage so fast. So don't underestimate how efficient a Berserker Shield, how efficient just a little bit of attack speed can be on Awilix. I'm going to call for the gank middle. I'm going to be running over towards Cupid, who seems to be around here. I'm going to hit him with that knock-up, hit him with the ult, hit him with a couple auto attacks, feather step right on in between. You can see I was making sure to get my auto attacks in between every single ability. That way I got the Hydra's procs off, maximizing my damage. And then now we can go back and we can go get ourselves a Gold Fury. We have me, Poseidon, and Cherry, so we should be able to burn this no problem.
Too easy.
Your right tower is under attack.
Wake up!
Cancel that.
Now our goal is going to be to start getting some vision over by the Fire Giant. We don't necessarily need to do the Fire Giant yet, because we do have the lead, so we can play it a little slow. We don't need to go out of our way to make any risky plays, but we do want to make sure that we can get some wards over there, so that way they don't try to YOLO a Fire Giant and have a big comeback play. Gonna be grabbing ourselves a Sentry Ward. I'm also gonna be ranking up my Jotun's Wrath into the Ferocity, and then I'm gonna start working my way back into that Serrated Edge. Serrated Edge plus Berserker Shield plus Hydra's equals 40% penetration, which is your penetration cap. And we're going to have a nice bit of life steal as well from that Serrated Edge, plus the bonus power for using all of our abilities. And of course, the Ferocity here going to give us bonus damage off of our abilities and our auto attacks. And because we are doing the Hydra's procs in between every ability, and because our abilities are coming out so fast, it means that by the time we land on somebody, auto 3, auto 2, auto ult, we're going to have basically 10% more damage on them by the time that Feather Step is coming out. And Lord knows that ability already hit so hard without it doing 10% more damage.
Too easy.
Now, if I could have predicted that the Chalk was going to ulti right there, what I could have done is I actually could have waited on the Feather Step. And then I could have Feather Stepped his ultimate, not taken any damage there, nor the CC.
For targets.
That probably would have been the smarter play. Should just go ahead and wait on that ulti. It was a pretty safe assumption that he was going to go ahead and use that. Now, while the team is over here going for the Pyromancer, I'm going to start positioning myself over by this tier 2 in the solo lane. We're not going to end up going for the solo lane Phoenix, so we would like to have that tier 2 down, because we're going to start pushing up the mid lane. We're going to start pushing up the left lane. You want to push up those lanes that are the farthest away from the Fire Giant in order to get pressure away from the Fire Giant side of the map. So when the next Fire Giant spawns, they have to defend much further away. Also, because we have the Hydras, we can be throwing out abilities like our 3 in between our auto attacks on the tower.
An enemy has been slain.
In order to get some extra damage coming out onto those towers, because Hydra's procs do work on objectives like towers and phoenixes.
Too easy.
Gotta keep running through their jungle. We've got the creeps over here in mid, so I'm gonna call for the attack middle lane. Try to see if I can't get in range of somebody. I will be able to go find the Janice. And at this stage of the game, we are officially one-shot Awilix, so we're going to get a deep ward placed out by their speed buff over on the right-hand side. I'm going to call for the attack middle lane. We don't have any creeps right now, but that's okay. I'm actually going to pop my ultimate and just utilize the bonus power and the bonus attack speed here on the Phoenix. Gonna pop my beads, so that way I don't get killed over there by him. See if I can't get the Nemesis in combat. Not quite gonna get him in combat. And now I'm gonna call the attack left lane. We should really be careful diving over in right. It's not even that important of a Phoenix, and we've still got the tier 2 over here, and we can just walk around with the fire giant, letting it sustain us.
I got your back, brother.
Awilix ultimate is also a pretty low cooldown. Once you get it all the way scaled up, you can see we've got it down to a 49-second cooldown right now, which is a really short ultimate cooldown for something as good as Awilix ult, considering that it does right now 600 damage. It gives us 70% attack speed, 60 physical power, and it can pull people out of position. That's a pretty strong ability to be able to do that much. It's already back up for this other Phoenix. I am gonna need creeps in order to go take this, so actually we're gonna need to get out of here. Gonna be too greedy for us to continue to go for this fight. If we would have had just a creep or two left over, we maybe can go for it there, but no such luck. Whoa. Janice almost got caught out right there. It looks like Cupid might not be so lucky. I'm waiting for him to dash because I was pretty sure that he was gonna try to dash back towards us. Our Gilga TP's in. I'm gonna call for the gank. Janice is over on this right-hand side, so I'm actually gonna jump this way and just see if he is over here. I saw him positioned. He looks like he blinked actually over the wall into the fight, but it should be fine either way. We should be able to get quite a few kills here. Nemesis uses one of her dashes. She's not going to be able to get out from that one, and we can once again call for the attack left lane. We've got the creeps pushing up over there. Honestly, we probably don't even need the creeps so much. We could probably just go straight for it, but for the sake of safety, let's go ahead and grab that wave. Only have to use one ability on it. We can walk up, use the Hydra proc once again, use our ultimate, all the power, all the attack speed, and this Phoenix is gonna go down no problemo. We can call for the retreat, and we can go do the Gold Fury, and then get set up for the upcoming Fire Giant.
Enemy ultimate down.
For our last item this game, because we are in the lead, because we are scaling quite hard, we're gonna finish up our Protector of the Jungle, and then we're gonna start working on a Bloodforge. Bloodforge right now, in my opinion, is one of the better items in the game. I love it on hunters, I love it on junglers, I love it on anybody that is winning. And right now in Smite, you're either, you're pretty typically gonna be winning really hard or losing really hard. There's not a whole lot of in between in Smite right now with the way that the current map XP layout is. So you should almost always be preparing to snowball because if you're not snowballing, you're probably getting crushed, in which case it didn't really matter what you were doing. So you might as well hope for the best. It's one of those situations. I don't really want to use my jump onto this Nemesis, but we do both blink, and then we get that out of her, so that ends up being fine. We can just call for the attack Fire Giant and go right back there. You can see that I can just use Suku to be very annoying for people. I don't have to actually jump in on them. I can just use it for the bonus movement speed and kind of walk straight at their faces and force them to use things like their blink. Cupid at this point is shoving and left, so we can just call for the attack right lane. If he continues to split push, we probably just walk up and basically end the game. So he doesn't have too many options right there. Got to be a little careful with the... Got to go ahead and use my Feather Step right there in order to CC immune and damage immune that Chalk ult, because I could see it was coming down to me, and I did not have my... beads up anymore. Gotta watch out for that Yanis ult that is coming through. But we should be able to mostly just focus on this Titan. Pop my ultimate for a little bit of bonus damage. Not gonna be able to Feather Step because I am crippled here. But then we can walk up, Feather Step the Titan one more time and grab that kill. For that last item, Of course, we would have been going into that Blood Forge for a little bit more damage, and it would have doubled as also a defensive item. We go in, basically guaranteed to get a burst damage kill on Awilix at that point, which means we get a shield. That shield almost guaranteed to help keep us alive to get another kill. We get another kill, which means all of a sudden we're getting another kill, and then you're really snowballing once you get that Blood Forge online. And of course, on Awilix, your goal is to go around, fight early. She loves a quick early game fight, sub-level 5. She loves the level 5 fight. She loves going for those 2-on-2 engagements. That way you can get nice and big early, and then you can spend the rest of the game running through the enemy jungle because they cannot 1v1 you, and so you kind of just zone out their jungler the entire time, guys. And that is our Awilix Season 9 guide. Don't forget to like and comment to help out with the YouTube algorithm, and make sure you are subscribed and ring that bell for notifications. Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a Twitchin' day, y'all.